My patch is nominations, and I call myself a bit of a talent scout as well. I'm always on the prowl for anybody who's interested in serving on public sector boards. So, and I encourage you to help me to be my talent scout as well. Our job is to support the government of the day and the Public Service Commission's aspirations for more diversity in public sector boards, but also they have an interest in diversifying their workforce as well. So we've got the Minister, the appointing agency, and we've got the Ministry, and this picture is very simple, but boards and committees report to the ministers. And when there's a vacancy, the minister's determining what the skills, the knowledge, experience is required for that board. He or she is doing that in consultation with the appointing agency and with the chair of the board as well. Keep developing your skills. You can never be overqualified, overskilled, overtrained, up to date with the latest things. Institute of Directors, Community Governance Aotearoa, Governance New Zealand all offer courses online. Some of them are even free, the Governance Aotearoa, community governance ones. And they're very good foundation courses as well. Be aware of political changes, changes in policies, government priorities, portfolios, ministers. It's all really, really important. You don't want to go to an interview and mention the wrong minister, for example. Not a good look. Keep informed about developments in your sector so that you're on your toes and you're up to date with the current and the latest thinking or whatever. So that's going to help help when you go to your interview, so you can demonstrate that you can add value to the board that you're about to be interviewed for. And be visible, connect with other people and build your profile and your reputation. And there's loads of ways to do that, and hopefully our panellists will help us with some ideas soon.
The burning question on everyone's mind, right? Like, how do I get onto some of these boards? How do I develop some experience? I think having the right profile is quite important, and using social media, and specifically I'm gonna cite LinkedIn. Crafting the right profile and just understanding yourself first, right, and then what you're trying to project is quite important. And so now, I mean, if you only have like 3 or 4 followers or 10 followers in just your family members, then there's some work to be done, right? Like in terms of building up that bit of a base. And the way the algorithm works, if your content is not engaging, you're trying to advertise something, I mean, it doesn't, like LinkedIn's not going to show it to others because no one's going to click like, right? So basically sharing intelligent content, right? Like, okay, so for example, you're trying to tell me that, look, you know a lot about world affairs, right? Because you're from Vietnam and you know a lot about what's happening there, and so it's some sort of intelligent commentary. So it's not just sharing a link, or photo of your cat or dog or something. I mean, now from time to time that's useful as well because it's personal touch, right? So it's just you're not just a machine. There's a personal touch that's helpful. But the bulk of the content you're sharing really is it's not just links to articles, but your thoughts. Okay, so over time, your community will regard you as an expert in that particular area.
I've heard that personal relationship makes a lot of difference when through the nomination service to the organizations where you forward our CVs. So if those organizations know you personally, or anyone over there knows you personally, makes a difference in getting you into that board. I'm not sure what the reality is there because I'm not on that kind of board. So just a quick question on that one. Thank you.
It's a difficult one. Because obviously, if you do have I think it comes back to personal brand and reputation, to Kenneth's point, right? So you don't necessarily have to have a personal connection. Having said that, that doesn't mean that if you do, it obviously can either help or not help you, depending on what they think of you at the end of the day. But I can say that for the boards that I currently sit on, I haven't had a personal connection with those boards prior to my commitment with them. So I think a lot of the time, to Liz's point, it is about the right timing and the right skill set and the right fit that you happen to provide at that particular point in time, because the organisation's requirements might change over time. So depending on the context, depending on who's in charge, depending on what's happening in the economy or sector, the type of leadership that they need for the organisation might change. Also, individuals retire at different times, so there are some skills that was there that is no longer there because the person's decided not to work anymore or to move on to another entity. And so in those circumstances, they'll need to find the right skill set to help plug the gap. And so if you happen to be the right type of skill set that they're looking for at the right point in time, that could work. And that's certainly the case in my experience. And Kenneth might provide something different as well.
Well, I think, look, Ming-chun's covered, everything really. I would say that if you're known to existing directors, it's helpful. That's the truth of it, right? Like any of you in business, you know this, right? It comes down to relationships as well. But of course, I mean, just because you know someone, but the skill match is not there, then it wouldn't work. Yeah.
I think there's a multitude of things that we can help influence, and even your vote, how you vote for the type of parliamentary, and council representation. Those are all things that you can do to help influence how those people think. Because if you make the demand, they will think about it, you being their customers, how they might respond. And so I think it's everything it's things that every one of us can be involved with, is making that changes, questioning the status quo and making that demand.